in this unit, you need to remember one of the basic terminologies such as absorption, adsorption and the surface phenomena. The minimum concentration of an electrolyte in millimoles per liter requires to cause a precipitation of a salt in 2 hours is called as what? Coagulation value. So physisorption, it is nothing but physical adsorption, whereas chemisorption, it is nothing but what? Chemical adsorption. Hello my dear students, a warm welcome you all. Myself is Purnima, lecturer in Department of Chemistry at Vidhyaashram Pre-University College, Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. My dear students, today we are going to start with a revision for the Unit 5 Surface Chemistry. So before going to see the weightage of this unit, let us see what we are going to deal with this unit. Okay. So as we are already understood that in the concept class, the surface chemistry is a branch of chemistry which deals with the phenomena that occurs on the surface or the interface, and such phenomena that include corrosion, catalysis and crystallization, etc. So in this unit, you are going to study more about the surface phenomena which takes place in the different types. Okay. Let us see the weightage of this unit. So from this unit, we can expect the 7 mark. You can see that there are 2 questions from the part 1, that is the question number 6 and 7, and the question number 41 from the part D, which also come from this unit. Next, so in this unit, again, as per the question bank, we are going to deal with the 1 mark, 2 mark as well as with a 5 mark question. That is nothing but split it into 3 plus 2. Let us see the types of 1 mark question. What happens to the entropy of gas after the adsorption? So in this unit, you need to remember one of the basic terminologies such as absorption, adsorption and the surface phenomena. Okay. So here they are asking the question, what happens to the entropy? Okay. With entropy of a gas after the adsorption. So the entropy of a gas after the adsorption is always decreases. What is the value of delta G? Is nothing but change in the free energy during the adsorption. So we all know that the change in free energy is always should be negative, and sometimes we say that it is positive in a few exceptional cases, and we say that generally as decreases. Okay. Solid is a good adsorbent when it is a finally divided state. Give reason. Because the surface area is increases. As I said, adsorbate, adsorbent, adsorption, absorption, all these are the basic terminology that you have to remember for this unit. Name the dispersion phase which is present in the gel. We know that in the gel, dispersion phase is a liquid. Next is Hardy state, Hardy-Squiz rule. So according to the Hardy-Squiz rule, we already know that greater the valency of coagulating ion, added greater will be the power to the cause of precipitation. So as we all know that if you consider aluminium plus 3 or sodium plus or magnesium plus 2. If you consider these ion, the coagulating power of the aluminium is more than compared to the sodium and magnesium. That is mainly because the Hardy-Squiz rule states that more the precipitation, more will be the coagulating power of the ion. Greater the power, greater will be the coagulation. Next, what is coagulation value? The minimum concentration of an electrolyte in millimoles per liter requires to cause a precipitation of a salt in 2 hours is called as what? Coagulation value. So again, they can ask you to define what is mean by the Hardy-Squiz rule, or they can give you the ions like this. You can see the question number 7. In the coagulation of a negative salt, arrange the following ions in the ascending order of the facultative power. Okay. So their ions which they have given, we have to arrange them in the ascending order in the negative salt. So remember, we have to arrange in ascending order. So aluminium will always have a greater percolating value than compared to the beryllium than the sodium, barium and the sodium. Okay. So this indicates that aluminium has a greater percolating value than the barium than with the sodium. You can see the charges also. What is zeta potential? The potential differences between the fixed layer and the diffused layer and the opposite charges on the surface of the colloidal particle, it is said to be what? Zeta potential. Already I have explained the zeta potential in the concept class with a diagram also. And more interestingly, we all know that what is meant by Tyndall effect, which we can also see in the daily life. So what is Tyndall effect? It is nothing but scattering of the light by colloidal particle in colloidal solution. It is said to be what? Tyndall effect. Between AlCl3 and KCl, which one is required minimum concentration to coagulate negatively charged Ar2S3 salt? So you have to decide which compound which is required a minimum concentration to coagulate for this salt. Okay. So usually we know that AlCl3 is required minimum concentration to coagulate the given negative salt. Next, we'll go with the 2-mark question. Okay. So in this unit, as I said, the entropy and enthalpy change for the absorption is also necessary. Sometime, tricky question can also be raised. What is the change in enthalpy and entropy during the adsorption of a gas on a solid? So already have explained that enthalpy will be decreases and the entropy is also get decreases, and we know that change in enthalpy will be written as delta H and it is decreases means the value will be negative. Similarly, change in entropy is nothing but delta S and decreasing value is written as what? Negative. Next, write the differences between physics option and chemistry option. Okay. So physics option, it is nothing but physical adsorption, whereas chemistry option, it is nothing but what? Chemical adsorption. Okay. So let us see what are the differences between these two. This is caused by intermolecular van der Waals force of attraction. Usually it is caused by chemical bonds and it is involved in the formation of bond, we can say. The low heat of adsorptions in the range of 20 to 40 kilojoules per mole. Here the heat of adsorption, high heat of adsorption in the range of 80 to 240 will require, because the chemistry option which involves the formation of new bond, and we know that it is irreversible and it's not specific, and here it is irreversible and highly specific. So this differences can also be asked for 3 marks. Better to go with the 3 differences properly you have to write to get 2 marks or for 3 marks. Next, differences between lyophilic colloid and lyophobic colloids. So the basic differences you must know between what is mean by lyophilic and lyophobic. Okay. So usually it is formed by direct mixing and they are prepared by specific mixing. Okay, and usually they are reversible in nature, they are irreversible. Particles of the colloids are the true molecules and they are bigger in size. Particles are aggregate in to form many molecules. Okay, and it is highly stable. We cannot see the particles in the lyophilic colloids under the microscope, but the particles can be easily detected in the lyophobic colloid by using what? Ultra microscope, and they are unstable too. Next, what is peptidization? Give an example. So as I said, this is a surface phenomena. There are different kinds of phenomena that you are going to study in this unit. So better to go with each definitions with a proper example. It is necessary to know for the board exam. The process of converting the freshly prepared precipitate into the colloidal solution by adding a suitable electrolyte, okay, which is having common ion, that are said to be what? Precipitation. For example, you can see that the ferric oxide, okay, ferric trioxide precipitate, it is treated with ferric chloride to give FeOH thrice salt. You can see that to precipitate this FeOH, we have taken the similar electrolyte, correct? That is FeCl3 to form a salt. Next, what is a Brownian moment? We already know that from the picture only. It is nothing but zigzag movement of colloidal particle in a dispersion medium. It is said to be what? Brownian movement, and this is due to the bombardment of dispersed particle by the dispersion medium. So why they get bombarded? Due to the bombardment. Or why they get shows the zigzag movement? Why this movement will be there like this? You know, the particles will move like this, okay? Why it is like this? Because of the bombardment with the dispersion phase with the dispersion medium. Next, explain. They can also ask with the Tyndall effects for the 2 mark, okay? So you must know that a different terminology which is used in this unit. Next, explain Brigade electrical arc method for the preparation of colloids, okay? So there are different methods that we also use like electrodialysis. All this method can also be asked with their application part or their uses, okay? I have picked up only few questions which is repeatedly asked. They can ask from the any part of this unit because these are all surface phenomena, okay? So the metal salts such as gold, silver and platinum are prepared by this method, and the water containing a small amount of alkali is placed in a container and kept in a cooled ice bath, and the electrical arc is struck between the 2 electrodes which is made up of gold. So here you know they have taken the ice bath. You can see that this is completely a ice bath. Inside this they have placed a container which is having a small amount of the alkali, and also they have kept the water, okay? And also you can see that they have placed the 2 electrodes and they are stuck between this solution. What will happen when we apply the electrical field? You know, a small amount of metal get vaporized. So here we have taken the alkali with the metal. When we struck the electrode and we apply the electrical field, the metal will be start evaporating or vaporizing, okay? So due to the high temperature of the arc, the vapors of the metal condenses into colloidal particle and alkali stabilizes the metal salt. So when we apply the high electrical field for this electrode, what will happen? The metal will be start vaporizing. When the metal start vaporizing, you know, it will be condensed by this alkali and it to form a metal salt. Okay, this is how you know we can prepare the metal in the form of salt by using a Brigade electrical arc method. Next we have electrodialysis. As I said, to improve the dialysis process, we apply the electrical field, that is also known as what? Electrodialysis. Okay. So under the influence of electrical field, the particles of the true solutions are moved towards oppositely charged electrode through the semi-permeable membrane, so that process of dialysis become faster. As I said, this is the salt which we have taken, okay, and we have kept it to the water bath which containing both anode as well as the cathode electrode. So what will happen when we apply the electrical field, you know, the movement of the colloidal particles are become more and more faster as it is compared with that of the dialysis process. Hence we apply the electrical field to faster the dialysis, hence it is named as what? Electrodialysis. Next, write the mechanism of enzyme catalyzed reaction. So this is also another important question from this unit. So as we already know that enzyme catalyzed reactions will be, mechanism can be explained in a 2-step. The first step is a binding of enzyme to the substrate to form an enzyme substrate complex, and in the second step, you know, what will happen, that enzyme substrate complex will be decomposed to give a product. Okay, let us see how does this process will be happen. Imagine this is your enzyme and this is your substrate. When they combine themselves, you know, it forms an enzyme substrate complex, and we know that enzyme substrate complex is an unstable one. So it undergo decomposition to give a product. Okay, so where enzymes can be recycled back for the reaction. So this is how the enzyme substrate complex mechanism can be explained in the two steps. First one is a binding step, second one is a decomposition step. So this is all about the surface chemistry important question. I'll come back with the next unit. Till that, take care and be safe. Thank you.